can't do it. And I thought, oh no, I've got to make the call I don't want to make. We're nearly out of the woods now. I'm fully prepared to be the butt of jokes in the glen for the next year. So folks, this is an area towards the back of our property. So there's the old barn there. Try and orient you a little. There's the barn, and our entrance is down that way. And there's the polytunnel over there, and the veg beds. And then we've got that pond, which you can see just in here. Now that pond was originally a stream that ran off the hillside, but at some point in the past it's been dammed just along there, and so it's about 1 metre deep in the central areas, and it's fed by various streams that come in off this hill. And yes, that is the roof off of an old Land Rover, in case you're wondering. So this area is so overgrown, and there's this old willow tree which is dead, a large portion of which has fallen into the, or has fallen towards the stream. But this is what I just stepped over. That's another tree that's fallen, and it's just in there clagging everything up. So there's various streams that come down these hills, and they all seem to congregate just over here, and then they flow through. And even today, if I take you over here, you see the water is so clogged with vegetation, but even in there, you can see in there that the water is constantly flowing. So it's a lovely area, but it's just so overgrown. So this is our plan. We're going to clear these trees, clear the dead vegetation away, right the way through here, and then we're going to try and empty this area. There's even an old little boat of some sort in there. It looks like some little fiberglass, I don't know, maybe 10 foot long, I'm guessing, by the size and shape of the back. But so I think this pond, you know, at the moment it's all overgrown this end, and then the pond is just kind of that end, but I think the channel that the pond is comes all the way through here, right the way along here, and I think it goes over to where those trees are rooted. And you can kind of see here and there's like a line, and then the line of tall rashes that run through there, that's the line of the source of the water. So we're going to try and clear it, and then slowly clear the vegetation out. I started doing that end of last summer in the pond. That pond was really full up of weed and reed and all sorts, and I got an old rake with a strap on it and kept throwing it in and pulling it out, and piled up a huge amount of vegetation, which we've mostly composted. But it's going to be a bit of a task, but you know, we've got to start somewhere. So and of course all the wood just gets chopped up and ready for the wood burners, and anything that's too small we'll chip and mulch it for our paths in the no dig gardening beds. So that's what I'm at, clearing these trees. I'm going to try to get rid of this today. this big leaning dead willow. And you see it's rotten right down there. It's rotten and snapped off. And even this bit that is still standing is split in two. You can see up there, it's split. So it's coming out, and then hopefully as we progress you'll see a lovely open stretch of water here. And obviously it will clear the view to the hill at the back, which has been replanted. This was all forestry. It was harvested, I believe, 6 years ago, that's what I'm told. And so it originally would have been like those trees up there. It was harvested 6 years ago. It's been replanted, so as you can see, the small trees, they grow at such a rate here. That's why they plant so many of them. But you can see they're all growing. So sooner or later, that stone wall that you can see there, which goes right the way up that hill, up to that point on the other side, will be forestry, and that'll clear our view to that as well. So I think it's a worthwhile job. It's not like I've got anything else to do, is it? I can hear it splintering.
Is that where you wanted it?
Yes, funnily enough. Well, I guess there's always going to be highs and lows to creating a new life and a new place to live, especially in the Highlands. And I suppose really it would be dishonest to only record highs. Yesterday was a bit of a low. My pal Rory very generously lent me his digger. Several jobs I need to do with it, and one of which was to clear some of the silt and weeds from the pond to try and get the water to flow better from the burn that feeds it. And it was all going great. I was clearing it all out. We drained the pond. Am I pulling it or are you pulling it?
You're pulling it, I'll fall in. And you've already been in the water once today, so...
That is true. You had to bring that up, didn't you?
Do you want to give me your phone?
Phone's there.
Oh.
Safety first, eh? And away it goes. Well, I dug loads of it out, got it all on the bank, and I'd kind of finished what I needed to do. I thought, I looked back and it was a little bit messy, so I thought I'd just run along there, and it wasn't too wet, so I just run along there with the blade just to flatten it all out. And I got a little way along, and it suddenly, the side of the digger just went, over it went. And I thought, oh no. I thought, oh no, I've got to get this out. I can't call Rory, I just can't do it. So I spent maybe half an hour trying to pull myself out with a bucket and running on the tracks, and it just kept getting lower. And I thought, no. And then I put some logs under, and then suddenly it stopped moving one side, and I looked down and the track had come off the side of the digger, and that was it. I thought, right, okay, I've got to make the call I don't want to make. So I called Rory and he came over, by which time it was pouring with rain, and we managed to jack up one side of the side that was down the bank. We jacked that side up and I've got a load of railway sleepers here. We put about 9 railway sleepers on top of logs underneath so that it would then sit on that, which it did. We then jacked up the other side so we get the track back on, which probably took 2 hours to get the track back on. So that was, we think, oh, okay, we're nearly out of the woods now. Rory jumped back in the digger, swung the arm round, and it just slid off the railway sleepers and went even further down the bank than where it started. And it ended up in this jaunty position I'm about to show you. Are you ready? Oh! Oh dear. So there it is, stricken. So it's now the morning after, and I'm just waiting for a phone call. We have another digger coming to pull this one out. I'm fully prepared to be the butt of jokes in the glen for the next year. I'm sure I'll have a new nickname very shortly. And I think they're arriving now, so I'll keep you abreast. So, of course, since Marcus and Martin came and rescued the digger, it hasn't stopped raining. Well, that's not true, it has stopped raining long enough for it to hail for a while, and we've even had some snow. But everything down here is so wet. So we've gone from, you know, an overgrown but green area to what would look like some kind of war-torn swamp. I just keep reminding myself that you have to break eggs to make an omelette. And it's all looking pretty messy at the moment. But I guess it was always going to be like that, and for the moment it's so wet I really don't want to bring the digger down here again at the moment until we've had a little bit of a dry spell. So you never know, maybe June. I'm joking. We do appear to have got, I'm going to be able to zoom in. Oh, there they are, flying away. Seem to have got a pair of resident ducks now on the pond, which is great, so hopefully they're going to nest and we might have some ducklings. You can see, I can't even get over there, it's such a mess. You can see there's quite a lot more open water than there was, and the pond still isn't. We haven't put the pipe back in the pond to bring it up to its full height yet, so there's still water level to come up when we do that. So for now, you know, I'm fairly pleased with what I got done. I will continue, and once this dries out a little bit I can neaten it all up and flatten it out and get rid of the debris, and there's various bits of pipe and metalwork and trees and all sorts in there. So we'll clear it up and watch this space. It will recover. I'm guessing that by May you won't even know we were here churning the place up, because everything's going to suddenly burst into life, and I'm sure we won't be able to keep up with the growth once it starts. So huge thanks to Marcus and Martin and Rory for coming and doing the rescue. We live to fight another day, and hopefully at some point in the next couple of months I'll be able to bring you another video with the clean-up operation complete and a nice green riverbank.